Hey YouTube, see if I can make a short video without rambling too much. What I really want to talk about tonight was buying coins from individuals and also shopping for coins, in bullion on Craigslist. This is a coin that I bought on Craigslist. It's a 2009 gold buffalo, and I really think it's one of the prettiest coins. I really think it's one of the prettiest coins I've probably made. It's one of those coins that as you tilt it, it's almost like a hologram, three-dimensional. Just a beautiful coin. But this was the first one I ever bought. This is a 2009, and I bought it off Craigslist. And so I did my search, and I found a guy at that time. Spot was like 1100. He was asking 1160 for his gold buff. It was, the picture showed it sealed in the U.S. Mint, plastic seal. And so I replied back, and I offered him spot. And I knew there was a very little chance of getting someone to sell you one for spot, but that was my opening bid to him. And he replied back saying, I can't sell one of the ones that are sealed to you for spot, but I do have one that's not sealed that I would sell to you for spot. It made me nervous. Number one, that anybody would sell me a gold buffalo for spot, and number two, it made me nervous because the one he showed in the photo was in the mint seal, and not that I would know what a real mint seal looked like either, but just something about it made me uncomfortable. But I decided to set up a meet with the guy. And what you can do, and what I did, is you can go to a website. There's many of them to choose from. I like Monex. You can go to Monex, and you can find out the exact weight of a coin. You can find out the exact diameter of the coin and the exact thickness of a coin. And then if you arm yourself with a pair of calipers, like this is about a $10 pair right here, and get yourself a little scale. This is a Syntec scale. I think it costs about $15. It's pretty neat. It opens and folds up so it protects the weighing part, and then you just open it up. But like this was like a $15 scale. So for about a $30 investment, you can be armed with the tools. And I showed up and I met the guy, and I checked the diameter, knowing exactly what it was supposed to be. I think it was 1.287, and then I checked the thickness. I think it was 0.11 inch, and then the weight was supposed to be 31.10 whatever. And everything checked out perfectly, and I had a picture of the coin with me and looked at it, and everything appeared to be right. And I also had done a search for counterfeits, and I found that really the only good counterfeit that I could find on the internet that anybody was talking about, it was a much larger diameter than the actual the true coin. But this coin measured and weighed out perfectly, and it looked perfectly, and so I bought it. And then I drove directly to a coin store because I was nervous, and I showed it to them, and they looked at it and said, "Oh yeah, it's real." So that had a happy ending, and it's just a matter of having a couple tools and doing a little bit of homework, and you can be pretty safe in going and purchasing something. Now, on the topic of safe, I think I met this guy at a Barnes and Noble and sitting in the coffee area. You always want to meet somebody when you're going to be carrying a pocket full of cash. I recommend meeting in a public place, and because I don't like getting robbed. So this works pretty good. Now, I know, everybody, some of you out there are thinking, well, they couldn't rob me, but you can be robbed. I have pretty much my whole life I've been spent in either the Marine Corps or in law enforcement, and now I'm in the emergency management field. And I try to stay pretty healthy, and I have a concealed handgun license and all that stuff. So I don't walk around like I'm going to be a victim by any means. But you also have to be smart. Your brain is your best weapon. And so make sure, I don't care how big and bad or how armed you are, don't meet somebody in a dark parking lot somewhere doing these deals. Meet somewhere in public. And if you're making a big transaction, bring a friend and have them sit off to the side. Make sure you get in and out of there safely. So, you can go to those extremes depending on the size of the purchase you're doing. So I have before on making big purchases where I've brought a friend, and they sat off to the side, and they made sure I got back into my car, made sure the other people drove off, and then they got back in my car and we left. So you got to be safe when you're dealing with this stuff. And then the other thing I wanted to say about Craigslist is when you're doing a search, I recommend you always filter your search, and you can get search for individuals only. Don't search for dealers. You can filter them out. That's just my own personal preference. I don't think I'm going to get a deal from a dealer. And plus, they just have a million ads out here where I live. So I filter dealers out. And another thing is when you're doing a search use a bunch of different terms, because you're only going to find what the people wrote. So, for instance, if I search gold buffalo and they listed it as gold buffaloes with an S, you're not going to find it. If you do a search for gold coin and they said gold coins with an S in their ad, you're not going to find it. So search a bunch of different ways. If you're searching for silver eagle, search for silver eagle, silver eagles, silver coin, silver coins. Do a bunch of different searches, and a lot of times you'll find an ad that other people haven't even seen yet, because they just worded it a little different, and it's hidden, deep in the bowels of Craigslist. So, and one other Craigslist story I can tell you that I had was one time a guy had an ad that said silver and other random coins, and I called him up and I asked him, what the coins he had, and basically he had a couple silver eagles and a little bit of junk silver and probably about $150, $200 worth of stuff. And then he said he had 3 other gold coins. He thinks they're gold. So I went and met him, and the junk and the silver he had, they had about $200 would be fair value for it at that time. And the 3 gold coins he had I had never seen before, and they were 1975 Vasco Nunez de Balboa, ugly coin. They didn't even look like real gold coins to me. But I looked on my smartphone real quick as I'm sitting there with the guy, and it appeared as though they were in fact real coins. Looked like they were valued at an easy $400 a coin. And so I asked him, I said, how much do you want for everything? And so he's got 3 $400 gold coins and $200 worth of silver, and he says $300. And I told him, I said, it appears as though these are gold coins. I don't know much about them. And I said, but, I think that you could probably do better at a pawn shop. I didn't want to rip the guy off as much as I wanted that great deal. I didn't want to rip him off. And also I still wasn't 100% sure of the coins. And it kind of goes back to the if it sounds too good to be true. And when he's offering me all this for $300, I figured one of two things. Either he was somebody extremely desperate for money, or he was trying to rip me off. And based on my looking at him and speaking with him, I pretty much concluded he just didn't know what he had, and he was just very happy to be getting $300. So I gave him the $300. I took a little bit of a chance, and the reason I took a little bit of a chance because I knew at the worst case I was going to be losing $100. I'd still come away with the silver I knew was good. And I drove directly to the coin store, and I showed them the coins, and they said, oh, they're real. And they gave me like $3.90 a coin, and I sold all 3 coins. And so I ended up coming away with a couple $100 worth of silver, and ended up putting several $100s in my pocket. Now, I wish I could tell you I'd make those type of deals all the time. I don't. That's probably the big one story I can tell in all this time that's that good. But I've definitely got some good deals out there on Craigslist. So don't be afraid to buy off individuals. Make sure if you're dealing with something that is a decent amount of money, make sure you do it in public, do it in a safe manner, or bring somebody with you. And as long as you follow those rules where you have the right tools, you're armed with the right knowledge, and you're being safe, you can go out there and save yourself some money, and by not having to buy directly from Provident or APMEX or Monarch, or buy gold and silver coins or MCM or all the other ones. Those they're semi-fair with their pricing, but if you can buy off an individual you find that's in need for money, you can definitely end up getting more for your money. So hope this helps. I can't think of anything else. I think that's all I want to get across. So you guys have a good one. Bye.